All right, so we got a little issue with this trailer. As you can see, glad hand broke off. Driver also stated that this emergency line was leaking really bad. And upon closer inspection, as you can see, you see all that grease. That's the problem. So with these Reitnouer trailers, with the Conestoga systems on them, they got a very shallow fifth wheel plate. Okay, when you guys back into these trailers, you have got to make sure that your fifth wheel plate is completely below the fifth wheel plate of the trailer before you start coming into it. Make sure that air suspension is dropped. Make sure that trailer is high enough. You can do it. It doesn't take much. The problem is that these have to be brought out too far because of the way the system is designed. This bulkhead is out too far. So we have to extend these out further so you can get your glad hands on them. The problem is that when you guys come in and you strike your fifth wheel plate into this trailer, it hits those glad hands first. And it heaves up on them. Now, it may not damage them at first. Hell, it might take 2, 3, 4 times. But then the next guy, he's going to hook up to it. He's going to snap onto the glad hand, and that's what's going to happen. Or we have this situation where people, go into the trailer and they're down at flow, and then yours truly has to drive 50 miles to go down there and fix it because of this angle problem that we have. Right now, we don't have any real clear fix. That's why we need to make sure that these deck plate or these fifth wheel plates are down completely, and they're lower than this plate here. Because if you don't, that angle coming in with that fifth wheel plate at an angle because it's tipped, if you strike into there, and if this is sitting too low, you're going to hit that glad hand. And there's, like you said, there's the evidence. There's grease all over that glad hand. So we got to make sure that that deck is at least this much higher than the fifth wheel plate on the trailer. It's got to drop down. It's got to be lower. That also applies when you drop the trailer. Pull out just enough. Once you get that kingpin released, pull out from underneath that trailer just enough to where then you're not that kingpin is not sitting in those jaws. Because if that truck drops too much, even though you got the kingpin pulled and unlocked, it pulls up on those jaws, and you could put it in a bind, and then you won't be able to unhook from it. So that's why you just pull out just enough just to break free of that kingpin, but that fifth wheel plate is still underneath this trailer. Then you let it drop down all the way, then you pull out. Because if you pull out too soon, you're going to hit those glad hands. And that might be the breaking point. And then somebody else comes and hooks up to it, going to take it. They got to deliver something, whatever. Now we got busted glad hands. So please be mindful of how you're hooking up to these trailers, these Conestogas, like this one in this case is 276. But most of our Conestoga trailers are Reitnouers, and this is the battle that we've been fighting ever since we got these things. So just be mindful of what you're doing. Thanks.